a deli in the first Vienna district. The Vienna zoologist and author, Peter Ivanovitz, would like to shop for a special dinner. Parma ham, Milano salami, or mortadella he doesn't even look at. Since the owner of this one-of-a-kind gourmet shop in Austria offers insects. Not raw, but deliciously prepared.
I would say a good start would be here with the worms or crickets. The crickets come from Thailand, very delicious, spiced with a bit of curry. They would make a tasty appetizer. Besides that, there are the king-size Mopani worms, and these emperor moth caterpillars from South Africa.
Caterpillars, beetles, ants, or grasshoppers on a plate is something that takes some getting used to for Europeans. Not only through all kinds of daring or jungle camps, the consumption of insects is seen a bit less appetizing. Whereas in Asia, Africa, and South America, this type of food is a delicacy and a good source of protein. All just a question of getting used to?
Very salty. A bit like peanut flakes.
The crickets come from Thailand.
Crickets?
Spiced with a bit of curry. Very delicious.
More of a curry taste.
Wrap it up. The insects come from controlled farming operations in China, Thailand, and Colombia. Not cheap. At the moment, you pay for a small packet of crickets 4 euros, and for a tin of emperor moth caterpillars, as much as 20 euros. Insects as a luxurious meal for Europeans?
The scorpions are included as well. Have a nice evening.
It is a cumbersome task to get worms out of the ground.
I need help with the selection.
For one earthworm burger, you need about 150 worms. If one could buy commercially produced earthworm meat in the supermarket, it would certainly be much faster. With ants, it would be much harder to come up with a commercial production. The selection of worms takes about half an hour. Earthworms should never be consumed raw. Like all other raw meat, they could contain parasites that can only be killed by heat. For the meal, the earthworm has to die. But how does one slaughter an earthworm humanely?
These animals have a very small volume, but a large body surface. I'd say if they are just dipped into boiling water, they'd be dead in a fraction of a second. We will boil them briefly. That seems to be acceptable. An advantage of our society is that we're not confronted with the actual killing of the animal. Hence, it is easier to eat larger amounts. If we would have to go to the farm and slaughter the animal, we probably would eat less meat.
In the same way that Peter would use ground beef, he mixes the worm meat with breadcrumbs and egg, adds some spices, and forms it into patties. For comparison, there will be regular ground beef on offer as well. Now the only remaining question: who will eat this? Peter invited a nutritionist and a gourmet critic. Both are supposed to eat the insect cuisine and give their opinion. The appetizer: baked mealworms, salted ants, and grasshoppers. Obviously, it tastes good. But how will the main course go?
We have the saying, what the farmer doesn't know, he doesn't eat. For that reason, we prepared something everyone knows. Earthworms.
Peter wants to serve his burgers hot. Besides the ground beef, the earthworm meat is frying. Since we eat with our eyes as well, Peter garnishes his burgers beautifully.
The main course is served. I hope it is hot enough. Please help yourself before it gets cold.
It has a little bit of an earthy taste. If you search a bit, you find the taste of brown, fresh earth moistened by summer rain. That's what I would relate it to. Not uninteresting. Reminds me of snails a bit.
Actually, what I like is the idea that the meat is almost fat-free. Almost all protein, hardly any fat. A great idea and wonderful alternative. Taste-wise, well, because the way it is prepared, it is very much like a burger. However, I am sure the meat needs to be minced. I don't think regular earthworms would be very popular. Not with me.
If one can get past the initial disgust, insect cuisine could be a good alternative to reduce meat consumption. The elimination of hunger worldwide will be the most important political challenge in the future. If it is not solved, people will fight wars over food and raw material.